Hello, it is Jack Gill and welcome to Mundo Sporto. Let's hope for a better game in this North London derby than the one I did yesterday between Leeds and Chelsea. Before I get into it with the team news and the pre-match stuff and into all your predictions ahead of the game, I want to remind you of today's sponsors, OneFootball. This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the only football app you need to follow thousands of teams, hundreds of leagues and competitions worldwide. It is packed with all the latest news, videos, fixtures, scores, stats, and key dates, and it personalizes the content that you want. It allows you to put your favorite team in, your favorite leagues, the fixtures you want to follow. It is an incredible app that I use, all my friends use, my family use it, everyone I know uses OneFootball, and if you're not using it yet, you need to go and download it. Well, there you go. Remember to check out OneFootball. They sponsor this video today. It's a very good app. It's what I've used for all the team news, predictions, starting lineups, and how they're lining up, the formation, stuff like that. It's how I check all the scores from this weekend's games that I miss in different leagues. So it's very, very good, and I recommend you all check it out. Big game between Spurs and Arsenal today when they met earlier on at the season at the Tottenham Hotspur new stadium. It was 2-0 to Spurs. It was during Arsenal's pretty poor run of form where they just couldn't seem to string a win together. Goals from Kane and Heung-min Son that day won it for Spurs. And yeah, let me just show you the teams on the screen for you. Sorry, they're absolutely the wrong teams there from yesterday. Let me see. Do we have the teams here? Yes. So the Arsenal lineup will come along the bottom now. So in goal, Leno, Cedric, Luiz, Gabriel, Tierney, Xhaka, Partey, Odegaard, Smith Rowe, Saka, Lacazette. The big piece of team news for Arsenal today is their club captain, Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, has been left out of this one. He is on the bench today, and the club has said, Mikel Arteta has come out and said that it is for disciplinary reasons. So today, obviously Arsenal without the club captain from the start, he has been benched, and I'm sure we'll hear probably tonight or tomorrow what it is that Aubameyang has done. But yeah, Arsenal look like they're setting up in that 4-2-3-1. Xhaka and Partey in the two, really good boost for Arsenal to have Partey back fit. Odegaard, of course, scored his first goal for Arsenal in midweek against Olympiacos in the Europa League. And Lacazette leading the line for the Gunners today. And for Spurs, Lloris in goal, Doherty right back, Sanchez and Alderweireld in the centre, Reguilon off the left, Ndombele and Højbjerg, and then the front four of Moura, Bale, Son and Kane. So a 4-2-3-1 it looks like for Spurs as well, and that very attacking front four that may cause this Arsenal defence all kinds of problems today. I'm just going to read out a few stats for you now, but before that, let me cover the benches for today. So for Arsenal, Bellerin, Ceballos, Willian, Aubameyang, Holding, Pepe, Chambers, Elneny and Matt Ryan. So a very strong bench for Arsenal. And then for Spurs, Harry Winks, Lamela, Joe Hart, Dyer, Sissoko, Dele Alli, Aurier, Davis and Vinicius. So they are both benches and both sides. So a few stats ahead of kickoff. So Spurs are without Giovanni Lo Celso today. He's the only real injury problem for either side. Arsenal are winless in their last 5 meetings with Spurs in all competitions. They've drawn their last 2. They've drawn 2 and lost 3. They've never ever gone 6 games without a win against their North London rivals Spurs. Tottenham are looking to win 3 consecutive league games against Arsenal for the first time since October 1974. It will give a win today will also give them their first league double over Arsenal since the 1992-1993 season. So the first season of the Premier League. So a win today would be huge for Spurs. Arsenal have lost just 2 of their last 35 home league games against Spurs. So yeah, that was in 2010 and 1993. And only the Merseyside derby has finished as a draw more often than Arsenal versus Spurs. The Merseyside derbies had 24 draws. The North London derbies had 23. So yeah, quite a lot of people will probably be back in the draw today. As I say, it's very rare that Tottenham do the double over Arsenal as well. They've not done it in the league since that very first season of Premier League football. Tottenham striker Harry Kane is the all-time leading goal scorer in this fixture. He's netted 11 goals for Tottenham against Arsenal. And Gareth Bale is perhaps the man to watch today. He's had a hand in 6 goals in his last 4 Premier League appearances, 4 goals and 2 assists for the Welshman. He's also netted 5 times against Arsenal in his career, which is more than any other side in the Premier League that Gareth Bale has scored against. So there's a few stats for you ahead of kickoff. Let me have a look in the comments to see who is joining me for this one, who is joining me for the North London derby, probably the game of the weekend. And a reminder that after this game, Craig will be live for Manchester United versus West Ham, where I am backing a big shock for that game today. Manchester United obviously very much hit by injuries in recent weeks. They've got a few key players absent for that one. West Ham in form, of course, a huge game for them in the top 4 race, and they will be up for it today. David Moyes going against his former club, of course, and he will want to come away from Old Trafford with 3 points. And Craig will be live just after this game for that one for you. But let me go into the comments, see what you're all predicting. My prediction for this one is 1-1. I think it'll be a draw. I think Harry Kane, who else will score for Spurs? And for Arsenal, I'm going to say Granit Xhaka for me. But let me know what you think in the comments about bets that I could potentially put on for this one. I got a nice win coming in yesterday, 50 quid off the back of the weekend of footy yesterday. So let me know all your thoughts on that. I'm kind of thinking a Xhaka yellow card, Kane to score, both teams to score, maybe. Let me know what you think. But yeah, I'm backing a 1-1 draw today between the two sides. Let's have a look. Kate 2.0 says, afternoon, Jack. Hopefully Arsenal win today. It'll be interesting. I'd like them to drop points, but Arsenal aren't too far away from us, to be honest with you. So I think a draw might be decent for us. 3-1 to Spurs, says Jake Menz. Easy Scotty asking what channel it's on. It's on Sky Sports 1. Elevator Kid saying Sheffield United are going down. Yes, heavily defeated by Leicester today. I feel like they're going to regret sacking Chris Wilder as well. I think he's really unlucky. I question the timing they've sacked him as well. It seems very strange to me, but we'll see if it works for them or not. Mishba, I'm giving you a shout out purely because I can't pronounce your name. So there you go. There's your shout out, Mishba. What a name! I wish I had a nice name like that, or one that's not common. So yeah, there's your shout out, Mishba. Enjoy. 3-1 to Spurs, says Noloko. None of you have easy names anymore. Why can't you just have easy names for me to read out? Come on. Easy Scotty 99 says, I'm back in Spurs, Jack. Kane, Bale, Son, all playing good. Yes, they're in very good form in front of goal at the moment, aren't they, Tottenham? And I think a lot of people will be backing them today. Sunderland are 1-0 up against Tranmere in the EFL Cup final. That's the latest score, apparently. MCFC Fan 10 says 2-0 Spurs. MCFC Fan 10 is clearly a loyal subscriber of this page because, you sat with me throughout yesterday's poor game between Chelsea and Leeds. But yeah, hopefully today we have a better game in this North London derby. I usually like watching the North London derbies, to be fair. They're usually good games. So fingers crossed it's the same again today. Who do you think? Yep, Mark Coolwell reminding me for the clock today. I will try to not forget. I had some issues with it yesterday. It just wouldn't start. So hopefully it's better for me today. I didn't realise it finished 5-0 to Leicester. I thought it was, last time I looked, it was 3. But yeah, someone putting in the comments that Leicester won 5-0 in that one. So a big win for Leicester, a massive win for them in their hunt for the top 4. Let me know what you think. Do you think that they will get top 4, Leicester? Do you think they'll finish in the top 4? Or do you think that Brendan Rodgers will do a full Brendan Rodgers? Let me know in the comments what you think about Leicester. Clearly a big win for them this afternoon. Adrian says a 0-0 draw. I bloody hope not. I sat for a 0-0 draw yesterday. I can't do it again. So I hope for the Lord of God that there is not a 0-0 draw today. Easy Scotty 99 says, I need a Spurs and Manchester United win for £45. I can't see it happening. I genuinely can't see Man United winning today. I think it'll be a draw or West Ham. I genuinely can't see United winning. But I'm biased, so we'll see. I suppose. I kind of fancy Bale to score as well in this one. I don't know why. I know I said 1-1 and Harry Kane scoring, but I kind of Bale scoring on his return to Tottenham against Arsenal. Maybe I can see it happening. Back at the Emirates for his first game in a long time. He's scored more against Arsenal than he has against any other Premier League side. So it wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't. But let's wait and see. Kickoff is just 5 minutes away, of course, as you can see. Let me put the banner up again of the Arsenal team to start with so you can all see the Arsenal lineup. And then I'll follow it with the Spurs lineup. Hope you're all okay. Hopefully we have a few more joining us as this game goes on. What should I do? Should I do both teams to score? Yeah, why not? Over 1.5 goals. Sorted. So there you go. That's my bet sorted for this afternoon. And there we are. Hopefully that one comes off then. Thank you. Manager Klopp has joined us for this one. Thank you, Jurgen, for joining us. But yep, fingers crossed it should be a good game. Remember, let me know in the comments what you think about it, whether you think Arsenal are going to win today. As I say, it's not been too frequent that we've seen Spurs, who are in 7th place going into this game, Arsenal in 10th. It's not too often that we've seen them do the league double over Arsenal. They won at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium 2-0 earlier on in the season. If they win today, it'll be their first league double over Arsenal since the first season of the Premier League, the 1992-1993 season. So it'll be huge for Spurs today. But as I say, this game quite often finishes in a draw. Only the Merseyside derby is the fixture with more draws than this one. So we'll have to wait and see the outcome of this. But yep, I can see the players coming out the tunnel now. Remember, the big news ahead of the game is that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang has been benched. He is absent from the starting lineup due to disciplinary reasons. That is all we know thus far. And as I say, I'm sure we'll find out probably tonight or in the morning what those disciplinary issues are. But another question for you, Arsenal seem to be a team who have this more than anyone else, and for yet another club captain to be left out due to disciplinary issues is just bizarre to me. Really, really bizarre. And Mikel Arteta has a big job to do. But yes, in goal for Arsenal, Leno, then Cedric, David Luiz, Gabriel and Tierney as their back four. The double pivot is Thomas Partey. It's good to see him back on fit. And Granit Xhaka. Thomas Partey obviously signed in the summer, hasn't been able to play too much due to injury issues this season. Bukayo Saka, Odegaard and Emiliano Smith-Rowe is the three behind the striker, Alexander Lacazette, who is leading the line for Arsenal this afternoon. So Arsenal, like I expect Tottenham to line up in a 4-2-3-1. And the Spurs side for today's game, in goal, of course, is World Cup winner Hugo Lloris. The back four is Doherty, Davinson Sanchez, Toby Alderweireld, and Sergio Reguilon. So Dyer has been dropped. Tanguy and Ndombele and Højbjerg is the double pivot for Spurs. And then Bale, Moura and Son. Bale off the right, Moura through the middle and Son off the left is how I expect it to be. And Harry Kane leading the line for Spurs today. Well, he's going to be a key player in this match. You'd like to think the leading goal scorer in the North London derby. MCFC fan says, I bet Aubameyang was partying. It wouldn't surprise me. It's an interesting one. Obviously, they played against Olympiacos in midweek. I wonder if he was late for something, whether it's training, whether he was late for the game, whether something's happened after the game in the changing rooms. Who knows? But as I say, I'm sure that it's Arsenal, so I'm sure we'll find out. It will get leaked what happened sooner rather than later, I'm sure. And if not, then we know who the leak was. It was clearly either Mustafi or Ozil, who left in January, of course. But yeah, Spurs looking really strong lately. Their problem is defensively, isn't it? But going forwards, they're looking really, really good. Son and Kane's link up. Obviously, they broke a record last weekend of the most goals scored by any Premier League duo in a single season, which that beat the record of Chris Sutton and Alan Shearer, of course. And they are just on fire in front of goal, aren't they? That front four of Lucas Moura, Harry Kane, Heung-min Son and Gareth Bale. It's good to see Gareth Bale has started banging them in for them as well. He looked really good when he came off the bench against West Ham, and in recent weeks, he's looked very, very good for Spurs. He's looked more like the Gareth Bale that we know. A question about Craig. I'm going to get this a lot, so I'm just going to answer it plain and simple. Craig is going to carry on doing these. I am helping Craig and Connor out with this channel. When it comes to the end of the season, we'll see what happens. But as far as I'm concerned right now, this channel is made by Craig. I enjoy working with Craig and with Connor. And this and Anfield Agenda, Craig will 100% be continuing until at least the end of the season. So we'll just wait and see what happens with that. But yeah, the best thing you can do for us all at Mundo Sporto at Anfield Agenda is just like, share, and subscribe, and try and get both channels with as much subscribers as we can by the end of the season, and then we'll see what happens ahead of next season. That is as much as I can say for now. Let's have a look. What's Kate 2.0 talking about with a manager? K 2.0 actually has Arsenal to win this one and Kane to score 28-1. You never know. I can just see it being a draw. I honestly can. Let me read out what I did. I backed. So I've gone with Granit Xhaka to be booked. Going to happen, innit? Harry Kane to have one shot on target. Son to score at any time and over 1.5 goals. So that's what I've gone. Returns 12 quid off a quid. So, nice and easy. But the game is underway, and I have forgotten the sodding clock again. But we move. I'll press it now. There we go. Slightly behind with the clock, but there we go. We are underway. 16 seconds gone in this one. I'm about 10 seconds behind on the clock. Arsenal on the ball now. David Luiz with the header, but it's gone to Tanguy Ndombele, a player who I really admire watching. I love watching Tanguy Ndombele. As Luiz goes forwards, Thomas Partey with the header, and then Alderweireld, and then Thomas Partey. A bit of head tennis here between the two North London clubs, and the ball falls to Granit Xhaka, who goes backwards towards Gabriel. 48 seconds gone here now. Let's have a look. What's going on with this clock? Thomas Partey on the ball for Arsenal now. Luiz. David Luiz. Arsenal just keeping the ball for now along the back in no rush before David Luiz pumps the ball forwards in the direction of Bukayo Saka, who has been one of the shining stars in this Arsenal side this season, who have underperformed for the majority of the season, Arsenal Football Club. But Bukayo Saka looks like a real star for them as the ball is played in behind the Tottenham defence towards Odegaard, and Davinson Sanchez is there to slide behind for an Arsenal throw-in. Let me try and sort the clock out, try and get it so it is the right time on there. I'll play it when it hits the second minute. As Arsenal keeping the ball now with Thomas Partey over to Cedric. There we go. Got the right time on the screen now. Reguilon defends well for Spurs, and he breaks forwards with the ball. He tries to find Son, who can't quite keep the ball in, and Arsenal have a throw on this right-hand side, just inside the Spurs half. It's definitely Arsenal who have seen more of the ball in these early stages of the game. They're the ones looking to go forwards and cause Spurs the problems here at the Emirates. It's Kieran Tierney, a key part of this Arsenal system on the left-hand side. Gabriel to Odegaard, who hasn't yet stamped his authority on the Premier League, but he scored his first goal for the Gunners in midweek and looked good against Olympiacos. Arsenal get the advantage as Partey is fouled on the halfway line by Lucas Moura, but Arsenal still have the ball. And here's Lacazette, who gets past Davinson Sanchez with ease, and he's pulled down by the Colombian. And it will be an Arsenal free kick here inside the opening 5 minutes. And yeah, it was just too easy for Alexander Lacazette there to put it through the legs of Davinson Sanchez and skip beyond him. And Davinson Sanchez was forced to bring down the Frenchman in the end. K 2.0 saying the clock doesn't work. It does work. It's got 3 minutes, 19 seconds in this game. But Arsenal here have a free kick from about 30 yards out towards the left-hand side. Both Odegaard and Cedric stood over it for the Gunners. I think it'll be Odegaard who takes it. His arms are both in the air. He'll look to whip this into the area, and he does. Davinson Sanchez is up, though. He gets his head to it first, and it's David Luiz now on the right-hand edge of the box, being marked by Gareth Bale, who's keen to keep his arms behind his back. Doesn't want to give the referee, who is Michael Oliver today, a decision. The ball is pumped back in the area towards Lacazette. Doherty this time heads away, and Arsenal reset. Granit Xhaka on the ball, Lacazette. Spurs sat back in a bit of a defensive shape here, as Arsenal, as I say, have had a lot of the ball in these opening 5 minutes. Here is Tierney, who looks to put the ball across the box, but Doherty blocks well. He finds Alexander Lacazette, who gets a shot underway. It's blocked by Tanguy and Ndombele, and Doherty's touch is an interesting one. It's given away, and then there is a shot fired across goal by Kieran Tierney, but it goes out for a Spurs throw-in on the other side of the pitch, on the left-hand side for Spurs. Elevator Kid, as he says, it's a good start by the Gunners here in this North London derby. They have definitely been the better side in this opening 5 minutes. The Spurs throw-in is flicked on by Lucas Moura. Here's Heung-min Son, who switches the play towards Doherty, the signing from Wolves in the summer for Spurs, who has underperformed and hasn't really impressed this season for Tottenham. But he gets the nod today, ahead of Serge Aurier. Here is Granit Xhaka for Arsenal, Thomas Partey. Odegaard now, who swivels on the ball, looks to get past Tanguy and Ndombele. His pass is a sloppy one, but it's kept in well by the Arsenal right-back, Cedric. David Luiz now brings the ball forwards over to Cedric again on this right-hand side. No urgency in these early stages from Arsenal, who are quite happy to keep the ball, and Tottenham staying strong in their defensive shape, not really pressing Arsenal too high, allowing their defence to keep the ball, which is an interesting thing. You know, if you press the Arsenal defence, there's a mistake in them, as Hugo Lloris is forced to come out his goal and clear out for an Arsenal throw, which is taken by Cedric. Lacazette back to Cedric. Plays it again to the Frenchman, Lacazette, who's leading the line for Arsenal today. A 1-2 with Bukayo Saka, and then he fires the ball across the goal, but it's cleared away, and Son finds Ndombele. Sergio Reguilon, and offside. The offside flag is up on Lacazette. And Spurs, well, Lacazette thought Spurs had tried to take it quickly and look to intercept and sniff it out and build an Arsenal attack, but Spurs will take their time with this one. It'd be interesting to see if Spurs can get some possession together and build a chance of their own. It's been all Arsenal in these opening stages. Sion has joined us. Afternoon. Hopefully we can get a few more people in the stream. If you like and share the video, make sure you subscribe to this channel, of course. Share it as much as you can on social media, you lot. Let's get more people in the comments. I keep saying these watch-alongs are more entertaining when I have you lot in the comments to have a constant natter with. As Gabriel finds Lacazette on the halfway line for Arsenal. Cedric. Now, Xhaka. It's a good tackle by Højbjerg on Lacazette, but Arsenal still have the ball, as they have done for the majority of these opening 10 minutes. Here is David Luiz, who turns on the ball and finds Cedric. Forward to Odegaard. Tackled by Ndombele, but Odegaard won't give up that easily. He challenges Ndombele back, and then Son is challenged on the halfway line by Cedric. Jose Mourinho not looking too happy with how his side have started early on here, as Reguilon, the Spanish left-back, takes the throw into Lucas Moura. Ndombele switches it over to the right-hand side where Gareth Bale is. Gareth Bale inside to Højbjerg. Højbjerg forwards to Lucas Moura. Can Tottenham build something here? The first time we've really got to see them in this game. Keeping possession for now. Here's Pierre-Emile Højbjerg. Ndombele, Lucas Moura. Lucas Moura over to Harry Kane. What can he do? Harry Kane switches the play to the right-hand side. Matt Doherty. Can he whip the cross in? It's blocked by Emile Smith-Rowe, but it falls back to the feet of Doherty. Gareth Bale turns on the ball. A nice Cruyff turn from Gareth Bale, and then his cross with the outside of his left foot is easily claimed by the German goalkeeper Leno. But that's better from Tottenham. We got to see them on the ball for a bit. For the first time in this game, really, it's been mostly Arsenal in these opening stages. Here is Gabriel at the back for Arsenal now. Gabriel plays it across to David Luiz. David Luiz back to Gabriel for Arsenal as they look to build from the back, as we see Arsenal try so often. So Emile Smith-Rowe now off the left for them. On the home side. As I say, I've looked the better team in these opening stages, but they haven't really got a shot that has troubled Lloris either. Neither side has had a chance early on. We've had a couple of half chances, though. A free kick for Arsenal that Tottenham dealt with pretty easily. And then Tottenham trying to build a chance of their own there. But the final ball from Gareth Bale wasn't good enough in the end. But here is David Luiz, who tries a long ball over to the left-hand side now where Kieran Tierney is. It's a good header control that takes him beyond Matt Doherty. And then it's a nice ball in, but Toby Alderweireld heads away and Doherty follows up with a good header. But Bale can't get the ball under control there. And there's Emile Smith-Rowe who wins it back for Arsenal. Partey, Odegaard, Partey again. Here is Cedric on the right-hand side for Arsenal. Mourinho pouncing up and down his technical area early on here. David Luiz now for Arsenal as they have reset and gone backwards. Gabriel then looks for a ball in behind to Emile Smith-Rowe. Arsenal have enjoyed attacking down this left-hand side in the opening 10 minutes. Here is Tierney now. Tierney to Xhaka. Granit Xhaka turns and looks to bring some pace into his movement. Partey looks in behind for Saka. That was too easy for him to thread that through, but Alderweireld recovers well and clears it out for a corner to Arsenal. It did look far too easy, that a pass straight through the middle of Sergio Reguilon and Toby Alderweireld, and Bukayo Saka, the youngster, was free, unmarked, but Alderweireld recovered well to slide, and it is now a corner to the Gunners from this right-hand side. Arsenal have started the better of the two sides here as the ball is whipped in from the right-hand side. Lucas Moura gets a touch on it at the front post, and then Davinson Sanchez clears. It's Thomas Partey on the halfway line who goes back to the German international, Bernd Leno. Partey again, Bernd Leno, whose distribution hasn't been too great recently, has it? We've seen a couple of errors from the Arsenal goalkeeper and a few Arsenal defensive errors of late, which is becoming rather typical of the Gunners. But I can see the early possession stats here. Arsenal have had 75% possession in these opening 12 minutes to the 25% of Spurs. And Arsenal really have been dominant on the ball in these early stages as Cedric whips a ball in to the box. But there are 4 Tottenham men there and one of Arsenal, and Tottenham get it away, but not very far. Here's Xhaka, 25 yards out. Can he get something? Can he create an opening here for Arsenal? His ball is too long, and Bukayo Saka on the right-hand side now finds Cedric, who whips across in Alderweireld. Heads clear, and it's half cleared by Spurs. Here's Gabriel, Xhaka, Thomas Partey. Tries to whip the ball in behind to Cedric on this right-hand side. Was he onside? The flag stays down. Bukayo Saka whips across in towards Lacazette. It's just over the Frenchman and goes out for a Tottenham goal kick. Not the greatest of starts to this game. It's not been the most entertaining, but Arsenal have definitely been the more dominant side of the two. They have seen a lot more possession of the ball. Tottenham clearly trying to stick to their defensive shape here and play on the counter-attack. That's what it looks like to me. But I'm just seeing that crossing again from Cedric. Doherty was holding Lacazette, who appealed to the referee. And Davinson Sanchez struggles to get the ball under control there. Catastrophe for Davinson Sanchez and Spurs, but he recovered well. Bernd Leno now for Arsenal. Here's Gabriel. A few people in the comments are noticing that I am slightly behind. I'm about 45 seconds behind. It's because I use Sky Go, that's all. But yeah, it shouldn't make too much of a difference. But please refrain from posting scorelines in the comments. Elevator Kid pointing out that Arsenal have started really, really well. Big Boris loves Mundo Sporto. Thank you very much, Boris. Cheers for that, Big Boris. And make sure you subscribe and make sure you share this on social media, get more people in the comments. As I say, these videos are better when there are more people watching, more people in the comments, so we can have a proper conversation. The game hasn't started to the best of games. It hasn't been too exhilarating in these early stages. So I could do with you lot to give me some questions and let me know as the ball's put in behind towards Saka, and Lloris comes a long way out of his goal to deal with that, and he doesn't do it in a convincing manner. And here come Arsenal. Here's Odegaard, who goes over to the right-hand side where Saka is. Saka, can he create something? The youngster finds Odegaard. Tottenham surrounding him. Partey, Xhaka, who strikes from distance, and it goes a long way over the bar. Granit Xhaka, the Swiss international, struck from about 30 yards out there. Thought it was worth testing the goalkeeper, but I'm just seeing that back. It was a good ball in behind, and Lloris was out like a shot off his line, but didn't deal with it in a convincing manner. But by the time he cleared it and Arsenal got it under control, the Frenchman had got himself under control and back in between the sticks for Spurs. Good goalkeeping from him there. But he didn't do it in a convincing way, that's for sure. As Lloris takes the goal kick forwards now, and it's gone out for a Spurs throw on this near side. Jose Mourinho on the sideline trying to motivate his team, who have looked very flat in this opening 15 minutes. The ball backwards to Alderweireld. Lloris now. Lloris forwards again to Alderweireld. Let me know what you think of this Spurs defence. It's very shaky at times, isn't it? And Alderweireld and Sanchez isn't the greatest of partnerships. As Reguilon loses it to Arsenal, and here comes Emile Smith-Rowe, who strikes the bar 25 yards out, and that is undoubtedly the best chance of these early stages. And hopefully that'll wake Spurs up, who have been in the dressing room still in these opening 15 minutes. And Emile Smith-Rowe, the youngster, strikes the bar for Arsenal. And they were given warning signs a moment ago, Spurs, when Xhaka had a strike from distance, but the Swiss internationals went a long way over. But that was a lot better from Emile Smith-Rowe. Arsenal dispossessed Spurs high up the pitch. It was poor from Sergio Reguilon to lose the ball in a poor position. And then Emile Smith-Rowe sends the ball crashing off the bar with a lovely strike from about 22, 25 yards out. It was a lovely effort from the youngster. And a real opportunity there for Arsenal, who have undoubtedly started the better of the two sides here at the Emirates in this North London derby. Remember, Tottenham won 2-0 earlier on in the season at the new Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Goals from Heung-min Son and Harry Kane won it for them then. If they won today, it would be their first league double against Arsenal since the 1992-1993 season. They don't like the league double over Arsenal. And in the early stages at the Emirates here, they've not quite been at the races. And an injury blow for them here, it might be, as Heung-min Son has pulled up and he has gone down to the floor in agony, holding his hamstring. And I don't think Son will be able to play on here. And that might be a big turning point in the game. And you know what? It fucks up my bet. Typical, innit? You back him to score and he pulls up with a hammy injury. And not a bad replacement for Spurs as Dele Alli. We can see warms up, but I don't think Heung-min Son will be risked now. I think we'll see him go off here. Just see how he did it there. He's bursting in behind as the ball is played forwards by Alderweireld, and you see him pull up. He immediately looks in some discomfort there, just as he's going from 75% to 100% to try and break beyond Cedric and get the ball under control. And you can see the disappointment on the Korean's face. But he's back on his feet now. Mourinho doesn't look happy, and it will be a blow for Spurs and their hunt for the top four. A few people asking me for my time on the screen. It is exactly the same as on the clock. But yeah, I can see it's not Dele Alli, it's Eric Lamela who is going to come on for Spurs now. So Son will be replaced here. A like-for-like change really as well. I say like-for-like. Clearly not like-for-like. There is a clear difference in class between the two players. But yeah, Son will definitely be unable to continue here. And he is replaced by Eric Lamela. So a big blow for Spurs in the first 20 minutes of this North London derby. And Eric Lamela is the man to replace Heung-min Son. A big blow for Spurs there with that injury. Aaron Brown is joining us. Thank you. Hope you're enjoying the early stages of this game. But Spurs in possession of the ball now. Their goalkeeper Lloris has it at the back. Spurs not started this game well at all. Emile Smith-Rowe having the best chance of the game so far as his strike from outside the area thundered back off the bar. But Spurs have lost Heung-min Son to injury. And Arsenal on the ball again now, as they have been for the majority of this opening 20 minutes here at the Emirates. But they lose it. They're dispossessed on the halfway line. It's Højbjerg on the ball. Davinson Sanchez all the way around. The Belgian international finds Sergio Reguilon back to all the way around after Lucas Moura found him first time. Switched over to the right-hand side where Doherty is. Doherty to Gareth Bale, who will need to step up now in the absence of Heung-min Son. He's looked a lot better in recent weeks, Gareth Bale. But can he impress today in the North London derby? Davinson Sanchez to Gareth Bale, who plays a quick 1-2 with a substitute, Eric Lamela. And now it's Tanguy Ndombele on the halfway line for Tottenham. I was looking at the match stats so far. 20 minutes gone. 4 shots for Arsenal. Not a single shot for Spurs in the opening 20 minutes. No shots on target in the whole game. Only 3 touches in the opposition box in this whole first 20 minutes, and they're all for Arsenal. So it shows you what this game has been like, really. Remember, Spurs have lost Heung-min Son to injury. Arsenal have hit the bar through Emile Smith-Rowe, Sergio Reguilon, to Toby all the way around. Davinson Sanchez now. As Spurs play the ball around the back. Matt Doherty, Gareth Bale on the halfway line. He looks with Doherty and he wins the throw in the end as the ball comes back off Emile Smith-Rowe. Gareth Bale looked to try and take a quick throw in on that right-hand side for Spurs, but couldn't see anyone in the end, and Doherty takes and throws it back to Davinson Sanchez. Sanchez finds Toby Alderweireld. Let's have a look, see what's going on in the comments, being as the game has been rather flat so far as Tottenham just continue to stroke the ball around at the moment, find some possession of their own, and Gareth Bale switches the ball to Sergio Reguilon. Lucas Moura now. So Aaron Brown says, predictions for Manchester United West Ham. I see a West Ham win. I'm backing West Ham to win 2-1. It's my prediction. And remember, Craig will be covering that game here on Mundo Sporto. And there's a foul there by Tanguy Ndombele just inside the Arsenal half. A bit cynical, really. And it'll be a warning for sure for Tanguy Ndombele. In some of the games, you'd see a yellow card for that kind of challenge. Elevator Kid saying he predicts Arsenal will score first, the way the game's going at the moment. K 2.0 says, wow, other teams do get injured. Yeah, well, it's a big, big loss for Tottenham, Heung-min Son, and we'll surely hear the extent of the injury after the game, I'm sure, from Jose Mourinho, but it could be a big loss for Spurs, that, in their hunt for top 4, and a big boost for teams around them also looking for a place in the top 4. West Ham will probably be happy with that news ahead of their game with Manchester United, which is a big game in the race for top 4. We saw Leicester win big against Sheffield United earlier. Will they hold on to their position in the top 4? Will Brendan Rodgers do a full Brendan Rodgers? But here's an attack for Arsenal down the left-hand side. Emile Smith-Rowe pulls it back to Partey, who slices his strike from 30 yards, and it goes out for a goal kick. So Arsenal having a few shots from distance in this opening quarter of the game, but not really testing Lloris as yet. They do look like the better side, though. The side that are more like scoring in these early stages. I think this comment from Liverpool YNWA sums it up perfectly. These opening stages of this North London derby, it hasn't been riveting, to say the least. As Spurs keep the ball at the back now before Davinson Sanchez clears forwards. Lamela can't get it under control, and Arsenal still have possession inside the Spurs box. Granit Xhaka over to Emile Smith-Rowe on the left-hand side. Smith-Rowe back to Tierney, who's on the halfway line for the Gunners. David Luiz plays a 1-2 with Thomas Partey, who wins the free kick after a late challenge from Lucas Moura. Oh, it was Højbjerg, sorry, actually. And Partey takes it quickly to Granit Xhaka, who goes over to the left-hand side where Tierney is. Tierney in behind to Emil Smith-Rowe. A really nice pass that as Smith-Rowe gets it across first time. It's headed away by Davinson Sanchez. Not the best cross from Smith-Rowe, and Tottenham here look to counter, but Bale is challenged by Tierney and wins the throw for Spurs. Let's have a look here. Cloud Gamer saying, what do you think of Harry Kane? I think he's an absolute world-class striker. I think this is my honest opinion on Harry Kane and Spurs, though. A world-class player like Harry Kane deserves to be winning trophies. And if by the end of next season, Jose Mourinho hasn't won Spurs a trophy, I think Harry Kane will look to leave Spurs. I honestly do. That's my honest opinion on Harry Kane. Because a player like him just deserves to be winning trophies. And I can't see him staying too much longer if he's not winning trophies. You know, he's in the peak years of his career now. He's at that sort of 28, 29 age. And you could see when Mourinho came in, he was frustrated at Pochettino leaving, but I think he could tell that Mourinho is a winner. He likes winning trophies, and he saw it as his opportunity to start winning trophies. But it hasn't worked for Spurs as yet, even though I think they're not too far away from a title race. As the ball is squared to Lacazette, and Lacazette misstrikes that. A really good opportunity from Arsenal. Once again on the left-hand side, they work the ball really, really well. Emil Smith-Rowe causing Spurs defence all kinds of problems as he dances past Højbjerg this time and drives to the byline, pulls it back for Lacazette. And the Frenchman should do better there. He strikes it first time with his right foot, but just slices across the ball. But yeah, going back to what I'm saying about Kane, Mourinho's a born winner. He loves to win trophies, but, you know, I don't think they're too far away from the title. I think they need to sort their defence out. Their attack is very, very strong. They need to try and keep Kane fit for a whole season too. But I've seen good things from Spurs at times this season, but they just need to become more consistent. They need to sort their defence out. But I don't think they've got much longer without winning trophies before a world-class player like Harry Kane will look to leave, as Arsenal look to mount an attack again. But Tottenham defend well this time, and Odegaard on the ball now for the Gunners. Here's Saka, David Luiz to Xhaka on the halfway line for Arsenal. Xhaka over to the left-hand side where Kieran Tierney is, and where Arsenal have tried to build their attacks from for a lot of the game down that left-hand side, clearly targeting Matt Doherty, the signing from Wolves in the summer, who hasn't had the best of starts to his Spurs career. Here is Matt Doherty, who finds Gareth across to Davinson Sanchez. Davinson Sanchez plays it back to the French goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Lloris forwards to Thomas Partey, who heads to Cedric. Saka dispossessed by Reguilon, and Tottenham will attack themselves as Lamela tries to build a chance for Spurs, but Thomas Partey tackles him really, really well. Bernd Leno looks to find Smith-Rowe on the left-hand side for Arsenal, but once again, like it has been recently, Bernd Leno's distribution is kind of poor, and the ball goes out for a Spurs throw on this right-hand side inside the Arsenal half. Jack and Isabel asking, will Arsenal win? They've definitely started the better side, but you can't really trust their defence. I can see there's a bit of pushing and shoving here between Eric Lamela and Granit Xhaka, and that might be one to keep an eye on there. Jack and Isabel saying, what do I think of Arsenal so far? They've been the better side, as I say. They've had a lot of the ball, but they haven't been too great in front of goal. They haven't built too many good opportunities. I'm just watching that incident again between Xhaka and Lamela. It's just handbags between two interesting players. But yeah, it was just a bit of handbags there. The ball is thrown by Spurs and by Doherty to Bale, who finds the Irish again. And here is Lacazette for Arsenal as the Gunners win the ball back. Smith-Rowe tries to look in behind that Spurs defence for Bukayo Saka, but Spurs have it back now, and Hugo Lloris is on the ball. He smashes forwards towards Lucas Moura, and Spurs win. A free kick as Reguilon is fouled, much to the dismay of Mikel Arteta, who feels as though the Spanish left back, the Spurs left back, went down a bit easily there. And you can see rather animated on that touchline, Mikel Arteta. Of course, if he is speaking Spanish, the Tottenham left back will be able to understand every word of what he's saying. And Reguilon goes forwards towards Lamela now. Here's Lucas Moura, who looks to find Lamela again, who's brought down by Cedric. And Lamela wincing in pain, holding his elbow. Spurs will hope that he'll be able to play on. They've already lost Son through injury, of course. But he brushes his elbow and he gets to his feet, Lucas Moura, the Brazilian. And Spurs take the free kick. Here's Reguilon. Plays a 1-2 with Højbjerg and then gives it back to Højbjerg, who has been a good signing for Spurs. Højbjerg's pass to all the way around, and then the ball is switched over to Doherty, the Spurs right back. And Harry Kane does really well in the air there for Spurs, and Tottenham themselves now trying to enjoy a bit of possession here. Lucas Moura, Toby Alderweireld. A very flat opening half an hour here at the Emirates between Arsenal and Spurs in the North London derby. Not the greatest of derbies early on here. There's another foul as Lucas Moura is once again brought to ground. Let's have a look. MCFC Fan 10 says, boring AF. I hope you're on about the game and not the stream. But yeah, it's not the most entertaining of games, I can't lie. I'll try and make it as entertaining as I can, but I hope there's a goal soon to bring this game into life. It's very flat, and it has been very flat for this entire half an hour. The best chance has undoubtedly fallen to Emil Smith-Rowe, who struck the bar from outside the area. It was a good effort from the youngster. But other than that, we've not had much in this one. And Ndombele brings the ball forwards. The Son injury as well, of course, which is a big blow for Spurs and their hunt for the top four, their European hopes. Here is Højbjerg for Spurs. Davinson Sanchez now. Højbjerg again. Højbjerg bursts forwards with the ball, finds Tanguy Ndombele, the Frenchman for Tottenham. Can he cause problems for the Gunners? He finds Lucas Moura, who gives it back to the Frenchman. Ndombele to Davinson Sanchez on the halfway line for Spurs. Doherty gives and goes to Gareth Bale, and Kane comes deep to get the ball and looks to pull it in behind towards the Lamela, but Arsenal get away. Not far enough though. Spurs still have the ball just inside their own half. Here's Toby Alderweireld, who finds Sergio Reguilon on this near side for Spurs. Lucas Moura turns Cedric with ease, and that's nice from the Brazilian. Lucas Moura then comes inside and is fouled by Thomas Partey, but he gets back to his feet and the advantage is played by Michael Oliver, the referee. Lamela has been found by Lucas Moura, who did brilliantly there, the little Brazilian. Højbjerg over to Davinson Sanchez. Davinson Sanchez to Doherty. Doherty, can Spurs create a chance here? They've got numbers forwards. They haven't got a shot underway in this opening half an hour as Bale drifts the ball over to this left-hand side. Reguilon, Lucas Moura, Lamela with a Rabona. And what a goal that is! Eric Lamela. Oh my word, what a strike! Lamela, who came off the bench, replaced Heung-min Son. It was a big loss for Spurs, who have lost a key player today, with Heung-min Son going off with that hamstring injury. But that is a very unorthodox and lovely finish from Eric Lamela. We've seen him score Rabonas before, but that is lovely. The ball's fallen to him from Lucas Moura, who has looked bright. And Spurs' first shot of the North London derby is a Rabona from Lamela from about 15 yards out. It goes through the legs of Thomas Partey and into that bottom corner. What a strike that is from the Argentinian, who, as I say, we've seen him try that before. And it's a lovely finish, and you can see the shock in the faces of some of the Spurs players. What a strike that is. And that is the deadlock broken here in the North London derby. Spurs lead by a goal to nil. Arsenal have dominated the opening half an hour of this game, they've had the majority of the ball. They've had the better chance as Emil Smith-Rowe saw his strike from 20-odd yards out, thunder back off the bar. But it is Spurs with their first real chance of the game, their first shot of the game, who score through a Rabona attempt by Eric Lamela. And what a finish that was. What a goal. And Jose Mourinho scratching his head on the sideline. He still doesn't look too impressed. As I say, that was the first shot on target of the game for both sides. Spurs' first shot of the game, though. They'd been very flat in the opening half an hour, but their game plans worked. They've gone up the other end and they've scored. And it was a lovely, lovely finish by the Argentinian, the substitute, Eric Lamela, who replaced Heung-min Son. And what a lovely goal. Definitely a candidate for goal of the season there from Eric Lamela. A lovely Rabona finish straight into that bottom corner. And you don't see goals like that too often. And Spurs lead the North London derby by a 1-0. And Arsenal look shocked. Their first shot, as I say, for Spurs has seen them break the deadlock here in the North London derby as Reguilon is on the ball now for Tottenham. Finds Lucas Moura, Eric Lamela, Højbjerg, Ndombele, Davinson Sanchez. Let's have a look. A few people have changed their score predictions now based on that goal, but Davinson Sanchez is dispossessed inside the Spurs half as Partey finds Xhaka. Xhaka to Emil Smith-Rowe. Smith-Rowe gets the ball into the box, but it's not the best of crosses, and Sanchez clears. Tierney with a 1-2 with Smith-Rowe, and then he gives it back to the young Emil Smith-Rowe, who has had Arsenal's best chance of the game with that lovely strike that struck the bar. Partey over to Cedric on this right-hand side for Arsenal. Can he get across? And he does. But it's easily saved by Lloris. And Arsenal have tried that a lot today. They do that a lot under Mikel Arteta. They try to put crosses into the box, but they have no real target man in there. No real target man in their squad to aim for. And as I say, they've dominated the ball. They've had the majority of the ball in this opening 36 minutes here at the Emirates, but they haven't really had too many chances. Their best opportunities have been struck from afar. But I'm just seeing that Lamela shot back, the Lamela goal back, and the audacity to try that. And, you know, the way the ball's fallen to him, it's almost forced him to do the Rabona, to try the Rabona. But he's executed it almost perfectly. Well, perfectly. He keeps it low through the legs of Partey and into the back of the net. And here's Smith-Rowe, who squares it for Lacazette, who leaves it. And there is no one behind. Really sorry about that. My Wi-Fi has had a few interruptions there and StreamYard crashed. It was a moment of madness for Arsenal. They did really well on the left-hand side to get the ball across Emil Smith-Rowe again causing Tottenham all kinds of problems on the right-hand side of the field for them. But the ball was put across. It was dummied by Lacazette, and it looked like no one was there for Arsenal. But then Cedric came sprinting in, and on the edge of the area, he fires a shot towards the goal, and it thunders off the post. So Arsenal have hit both the post and the bar in these early stages here. But it is Spurs that lead through that lovely Rabona strike by Eric Lamela. And as I say, what a naughty, naughty finish. And Eric Lamela's lovely Rabona will surely be a candidate for the Puskas Award as well. It was a lovely strike, a lovely finish from Lamela. But Tottenham have fouled here and given away a free kick. Bukayo Saka was fouled by Reguilon, who is the first player to go into Michael Oliver's book in this North London derby. Again, sorry about that short interruption of my video. StreamYard completely collapsed. But I am back, and you didn't miss much, but Arsenal hitting the woodwork once again in this one. But yeah, remember to share this video, get more people involved, get more people watching. And at halftime, keep your questions coming in, and I shall answer them as much as I can. As Bukayo Saka on this right-hand side for Arsenal looks to build a chance for the Gunners, for the home side. But I thought he'd run the ball out of play, but Reguilon managed to get a touch on it and get it behind for an Arsenal corner. Yeah, and he's got that right, Michael Oliver. It did come off the Spanish left-back last, and Arsenal take the corner short to Cedric, and Odegaard feints across and gives it back to Cedric, who does cross it in, but his cross doesn't beat the first man. And Cedric, well, it looked like he was fouled, but it was a strong challenge from Lamela, but it looks like the referee has deemed that the Argentinian, the goal scorer, of course, with that lovely, naughty Rabona finish. And here's Cedric, who will take the throw for the Gunners. He finds Partey, who looks in behind towards Lacazette, who leads the line for Arsenal today in the absence of Aubameyang, who has been benched due to disciplinary reasons, as we heard from Mikel Arteta ahead of the game. Saka dispossessed by Davinson Sanchez. Lamela, the goal scorer for Spurs, finds Lucas Moura, who pumps the ball forwards, but there's no one there for Tottenham, and Gabriel has it for Arsenal, who find themselves behind, but they've been dominant on the ball in this first half. He finds Emil Smith-Rowe, who goes outside to Tierney. His cross is blocked by Matt Doherty, and it'll be an Arsenal corner from the left-hand side this time. Let's have a look. People asking if Craig is streaming today. Yes, he is streaming later after this game, the game between Manchester United and West Ham. He will be doing that one. I am here for the North London derby. Hope you don't mind the difference between the two. The only difference is he's bald, I'm not. He's Irish, I'm not. Other than that, basically the same guy. Ball whipped in from the left, headed away by Matt Doherty. Thomas Partey here now. Over to Cedric. It hasn't been the most exhilarating of first halves, but saying that, there's been chances for both sides. Spurs have only had one shot, but their one shot is the one goal that we've had so far. The lovely, lovely Rabona from Eric Lamela. And if you've not seen it yet, I suggest you have a look. It's a naughty finish from Lamela. And Partey now switches the ball to the left-hand side where Emil Smith-Rowe is. Can Arsenal get an equaliser before the break? Saka back to Emil Smith-Rowe, whose cross is a bit too high for Odegaard, who can't get any direction or power on the ball, and it bounces behind for a goal kick. But Arsenal are looking the better side of the two teams and have had more chances than Spurs. But I'm just seeing that attempt back from Lamela, the goal back. And I don't know how he's done it. You know, to get the power, the direction, to hit it as sweetly as he did. It really is. It's as sweet as a nut. And you can see the shock on Reguilon, who holds his head in his hands, quite like I did. Can't believe how he has managed to do that, the Argentinian. But it is a lovely, controlled Rabona finish. And as I say, the audacity to try that in the North London derby, to pull it off in the manner that he did. It is a beautiful finish from the Argentinian and Eric Lamela, the substitute. And at the minute, that is the difference between the two sides. And what a goal it is. A goal of the season contender. It's squared towards Odegaard. And there it is. Martin Odegaard, the Danish youngster that many have their eye on. He scored his first Arsenal goal in midweek in the Europa League against Olympiacos. And he has levelled the scorings here with his first goal in the Premier League for the Gunners. And Arsenal get their reward for all their hard work in the first half. And once again, the attack came down the left-hand side. Tierney pulls the ball across. It's a lovely cross from him. It was too easy from a Spurs perspective as he danced past Doherty on the on that right-hand side for Spurs. And he pulls the ball across, and it's not the best of finishes from Martin Odegaard. It comes off the Belgian Toby Alderweireld and into the back of the net. And it is 1-1. A deflected strike from Martin Odegaard. It was going on target. It's definitely the Danish youngster's goal. But we are level now, just before half-time. And you can't say Arsenal don't deserve it. For all their pressure, for all their possession, they have got their reward. They've enjoyed attacking down the left-hand side for the majority of the first half. And Tierney skipped past Doherty, pulled the ball back, and Martin Odegaard found himself unmarked, and his strike deflected in off Alderweireld. I think Lloris probably would have saved it if it hadn't deflected off Alderweireld. It was going straight at him, really. Arsenal have a free kick now. There were 2 minutes of added time here as Bukayo Saka was brought down by Alderweireld here, who just body checked him and didn't let him pass. But Arsenal are level, which is good news for us Liverpool fans. And as I say, only the Merseyside derby has seen more draws than Arsenal versus Tottenham. And at the moment, it looks like that's how this game will be heading into half-time, as the sides are level at 1 apiece. And the ball is put in behind now to Cedric. Reguilon tackles. Out it goes for an Arsenal corner. Comment here from Elevator Kid saying Arsenal deserve that goal. They really did. Tottenham haven't really seen too much of the ball. Their only real opportunity of this first half was the goal, was that lovely, unorthodox Rabona finish from the substitute Eric Lamela. And Arsenal have the corner from the right-hand side now as Martin Odegaard puts his hand in the air and whips it across. Cleared away from Højbjerg after it beat Lucas Moura at the near post. It's out for a throw into Arsenal on this right-hand side, which will be taken by the youngster Bukayo Saka. He leaves it actually for Cedric. So Cedric takes it towards Saka. And Michael Oliver blows his whistle. It is half-time here in the North London derby. It is Arsenal 1, Spurs 1. Spurs scored with their first shot of the game. Eric Lamela with a lovely Puskas Award candidate, goal of the season candidate. He replaced Heung-min Son, who went off with a hamstring injury in the early stages of the game. And it was the Argentinian who broke the deadlock in the North London derby at the Emirates with a lovely Rabona finish from 15 yards into the bottom corner. It was a controlled, it was a naughty finish from the Argentinian. And then Arsenal, who dominated the majority of the first half, got their reward just before the break as Martin Odegaard, the Danish youngster who is on loan, of course, from Real Madrid, he scored with a lovely finish that deflected off Alderweireld. It wasn't the nicest of efforts from Odegaard, to be fair, but the deflection took it beyond Hugo Lloris and into the bottom corner. And the North London derby is level at the break. Before I answer your questions, before you give me as many questions as you can that we can talk about at half time and we'll recap on the first half, I just want to remind you of today's sponsors, who are, of course, OneFootball.
This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the only football app you need to follow thousands of teams, hundreds of leagues and competitions worldwide. It is packed with all the latest news, videos, fixtures, scores, stats, and key dates, and it personalizes the content that you want. It allows you to put your favorite team in, your favorite leagues, the fixtures you want to follow. It is an incredible app that I use, all my friends use, my family use it, everyone I know uses OneFootball, and if you're not using it yet, you need to go and download it.
So there we have it. The big news ahead of the game was Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang obviously benched today for disciplinary reasons. We heard that from Mikel Arteta before the game. I'm sure it won't be long before we find out what the Arsenal captain has done. And in the first half, they were lost without him in front of goal. They dominated possession. They've had a lot of the ball in the early stages and in the first half of this North London derby. They have dominated possession. They've tried to attack down the left-hand side on the majority of their attacks, Arsenal. But it was Spurs who broke the deadlock. It was the substitute, Eric Lamela, with a fine Rabona finish. It was beautiful. It was disgusting, quite frankly, from the substitute who replaced the injured Heung-min Son. But Arsenal got their reward for their dominance on the ball just before the break. As I say, Ødegaard's first goal, his first Premier League goal for Arsenal, should I say. He scored his first goal for the Gunners in midweek. And anyway, let me have a look what is being said in the comments. People talking about moderating. I don't know what that's about. Remember to keep me posted in terms of what is going on with questions, what you think of the game so far, what your score predictions are. Do you think Tottenham can get in the top four? How do you think Arsenal have played? I think they've looked decent, Arsenal, in these early stages. I think they were unfortunate to go behind. It was a lovely finish, as I say, from Eric Lamela, the Argentinian, the substitute. A beautiful finish from him. But Arsenal got the reward for the dominance just before the break, and it is level. The Norwegian finished fantastically. But let's be honest, his goal was nowhere near the calibre of the finish from Eric Lamela. The deflection from Toby Alderweireld took it beyond Lloris, whereas Eric Lamela's Rabona was beautiful. And as I say, if you lot in the comments haven't had the opportunity to see that back yet, make sure you go and watch it, because oh my word, what a strike from the Argentinian. And for me, that has to be a candidate for the Puskas Award. To get that control, to have the audacity to try that in the first place. As I say, the way the ball fell to him, it invited him to do so. But to have that much control, to get it through the legs of Thomas Partey and into that bottom corner, it's just beautiful from Eric Lamela, who, as I say, it's not the first time we've seen him do a Rabona like that, is it? But let's have a look in the comments, see what you lot are saying, see what you lot are thinking of that naughty Lamela strike. Mustafa agrees with me. He says that Lamela goal was too sick. It was. You don't see many goals like that. Jack and Isabel saying, what place do you think Arsenal will finish? It's an interesting one. They look their best when they have, the likes of Tierney fit, the likes of Thomas Partey fit. That's when Arsenal look at their best. But they're not really good enough in front of goal. They haven't been good enough in front of goal this season. I'm just seeing that Eric Lamela goal back, and every time you see it, it looks even more disgraceful. What a finish. Wow. And as I say, that is Spurs' only shot of the first half. Their only shot on target, and it's a Rabona finish from Eric Lamela. An excellent goal, as Elevator Kid says. And as Kate 2.0 points out here, please like, subscribe, share this stream, share it on social media. We've not had too many people in the comments today. I thought this North London derby would do quite well, but share it as much as you can. Get as many people watching this as you can. These streams are even better with more people in the comments. People asking where Craig is. Craig will be here on this channel for Manchester United versus West Ham, which follows this game. Mustafa saying that's what you call a moment of brilliance. It really is a moment of magic from the Argentinian, the substitute for Spurs, the player who I said was nowhere near the calibre of Heung-min Son. when he replaced the Korean who limped off with a hamstring injury. But that is a moment of magic from Lamela, a world-class moment for him. And then, as I say, that Arsenal goal, it's too easy from a Spurs perspective. It's poor from Matt Doherty. He lets Tierney get past him far too easily. The ball is squared. It's not good marking in the Tottenham box either, and it falls to Ødegaard, who is unmarked, and his finish comes off the inside of the left foot of Toby Alderweireld. But remember, Arsenal had the better chances in the game before that as well. You know, they hit the bar and the post in that first half. Cedric, the right back for Arsenal, hitting the post after the ball was squared, after, again, another good opportunity from the left-hand side for Arsenal. And then Emile Smith-Rowe hit the bar in the early stages for the Gunners after some brilliant work by him. He's 22 yards out. He decides to get a strike underway and it thunders back off the bar. But he has caused all kinds of problems for Spurs on that left-hand side in the first half. And I've really not been convinced by Matt Doherty. He's really not settled into Spurs this season. And he's been pretty poor here in the first half. And Tottenham have clearly identified him as the weak point for Spurs. They've attacked a lot down the left, which I know Arsenal do anyway, but they've clearly highlighted that right-hand side for Spurs as their weak link. Let me have a look at the comments again, people. Reminding everyone in the comments to like and subscribe to this. Anthony Davis says he likes what I say about the Lamela goal. Yeah, naughty is the perfect word for it. The perfect word. He has no right to do that, but he does. And he does it brilliantly. And it's such a controlled finish. Like, to keep it low, to put it through the legs of Partey and right into that bottom corner past Bernd Leno is just a real moment of brilliance, a sheer piece of magic from Eric Lamela. And I can't sing his praises enough for that strike. And as I say, it's a certainty for a goal of the season candidate. We saw a lovely strike yesterday from Dwight McNeil, which was called a goal of the season candidate at the time by the commentators. But that Lamela goal tops it. A fine, controlled Rabona finish. But superb. Superb. And Elevator Kid saying, imagine expressions after that goal from Lamela. Tottenham fans have every right to go mad about that strike. What an effort it was. What a goal it was. A sheer piece of brilliance from Eric Lamela, which broke the deadlock in this North London derby with Spurs' first shot on target in the first half. It has been their only shot on target in the first half, that Rabona by the substitute. And what a lovely goal it was. As I say, for me, that will be a candidate for the Puskas Award at the end of the year, and it has to be. It's a lovely finish from Eric Lamela. Let's have a look. Any more comments here? Any more questions? Jack and Isabel saying, who do you think will win? I think this will finish a draw. It hasn't been the most entertaining of first halves. It has had its moments. As I say, Arsenal have hit the woodwork twice. Obviously, a goal apiece. That moment of magic from Eric Lamela. But besides that, it's been quite slow, a bit lackluster at times. It got to the half-hour mark, and I was wondering if we were going to see many goals today. Hopefully, the second half is a bit more interesting. Let's have a look. People talking about Liverpool Wolves on Monday night, of course. Kate 2.0, confident for that one. Let's have a look at any more questions in the comments. Make sure you put them in there. Jack and Isabel, thank you for liking the video and thank you for subscribing too. Elevator Kid pointing out that McNeil goal, actually saying that he thinks that is goal of the season. That is another stupendous strike. I think Dwight McNeil is a very, very underrated player. I honestly do. I think he's a brilliant talent, Dwight McNeil. Of course, he was in the academy at Manchester United, I believe, released by Manchester United, ended up at Burnley, and he's a key player for Sean Dyche's side now. It was a lovely strike from him yesterday, but for me, the audacity, the control from Eric Lamela, just to pull that off, I think is brilliant. And you can see by the reaction of the Tottenham left-back, Reguilon, who is just completely flabbergasted at it. His hands on his head, just like mine were. I couldn't believe that finish from Eric Lamela. And Anthony Davis says here, hopefully we see some naughty goals from Liverpool's front three tomorrow. Fingers crossed, mate. Maroney LFC YNWA saying it was a great goal by Lamela, but Arsenal should be out of sight. Yes, Tottenham sat off them for the majority of that first half. I think Tottenham have been mostly poor, to be honest with you. And no wonder Mourinho has looked so disappointed and frustrated on the sideline for the majority of the first half. Arsenal have dominated possession. They've had a few chances. They found it too easy getting past Doherty on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side for Spurs. They've built many of their attacks on the left-hand side for Arsenal have, sorry. Emile Smith-Rowe causing all kinds of problems. He's looked good today. Ødegaard, of course, the goal scorer. He's starting to look settled into life in the Premier League and life at Arsenal. He got his first Premier League goal today, of course. His first goal for the Gunners came in midweek against Olympiacos. 2 goals in 2 games now for the young Dane. Sorry, the young Norwegian. Ali saying, where is Craig? Craig will be here later on for Arsenal. For United versus West Ham. I think Liverpool will win 3-1 against Wolves tomorrow, says Elevator Kid. Thank you very much. Let's have a look. Any more comments? Yeah, I think I said Ødegaard was Danish before. Sorry, he's definitely Norwegian. That was just a slip of the tongue. But yeah, Norway have some really good young talent coming through. I'm excited to see the future of the Norwegian national side because they've got some real players coming through. Erling Haaland, who I think is the best young talent in world football right now. Him and Mbappe definitely. Martin Ødegaard, of course, who has started looking good. He looked good on loan last season in La Liga, and he's looked. I've liked what I've seen from him at Arsenal so far. It's a difficult league to adapt to in the Premier League, but he started to get a few starts for the Gunners, and he's got 2 goals in his last 2 games for them, the Norwegian. Let's have a look. TTV Klopp pointing out they've got Sorloth as well. Yeah, they've got some real good talent, Norway. Some real good young talent, and Ødegaard is just one of them. Sorloth too. You've got Erling Haaland, of course. Let's have a look. Chilled Mills saying Lacazette couldn't hit the ocean from a boat. Can I have a channel shout out as I'm trying to get noticed? Enjoy your channel and I've liked and subbed. I'm feeling nice, Chilled Mills, so I will give you a little shout out for this. But yeah, Lacazette hasn't been too great today. Arsenal clearly would have liked their captain to have started today, but a ballsy move from Mikel Arteta to leave him out of this one for disciplinary reasons, he says. Haaland and Mbappe are about to be the future GOATs like Ronaldo and Messi. Agree with that, mate. Haaland and Mbappe look like sensational young talents, and they're really going to be scrapping out for the Ballon d'Or for many more years to come. I've been challenged by... Let's have a look here. Ali Alcabaz. Ali Alcabaz. Is that right? Ali Alcabaz. Would you say it differently? Is that right? Well, there you go. I've done it. Smashed it. That's right to me. It's your new name. If that's not how you pronounce it, it's how I pronounce it. Matthew Dooley is with us. He says, hi, mate. How are you? I'm good, thank you. It's not been the greatest of North London derbies in this first half, but we have seen a very, very good goal, and it's come from Eric Lamela, who scored the opener in this game with a fine finish, with a Rabona finish. Let's have a look. Jensk 1102 saying, will you or Craig cover the big Manchester United game? Thank you, first of all, for your super chat, Jensk. That's really appreciated, mate. Craig will be covering the Manchester United game against West Ham. He will be doing that one straight after this game. I believe he'll be going live just as we get underway for the second half. And don't worry, I remembered the clock once again. So high five to myself, sorted. But yes, Craig will be here after this game for Manchester United versus West Ham. A big, big game, of course, for the top 4. I fancy West Ham, Manchester United having a lot of injury problems this week, of course. But thank you again, Jen, for the super chat. Really, really appreciate that, mate. And I know that you're a common person in the comments of these shows. So thank you very, very much, mate. Matthew Dooley saying that goal from Lamela is contender for goal of the season. I agree, mate. As I say, I think that is a possible Puskas Award winner. I think it's a lovely, lovely finish. Bloody hell, I'm being asked for tongue twisters in the comments. No, thank you. As Tottenham dispossess Arsenal on the halfway line and they look to build an attack here. Here's Gareth Bale over to the left-hand side where Lucas Moura is. Lucas Moura to Sergio Reguilon, who looks to pull it across. And Odegaard finds Luiz, who gets it away. Chill Mills says top 4 predictions. I'm going the current top 4. So Leicester, Chelsea, Manchester United and Man City. That's how I predict the top 4 will finish at the end of the season. Some people trying to bait me in the comments, but there is no way I am falling for those stupid names that you all make up. MCFC Fan 10 has tried that before and failed before, but he keeps doing it. Keeps trying. He ain't going to get there, though. Here is Toby Alderweireld, who goes back to Hugo Lloris. Lloris to Davinson Sanchez, who goes back to Hugo Lloris and Davinson Sanchez again. Well, I'm just having a look. Arsenal have conceded the fewest amount of second-half goals this season. Bit of a mad stat. Only 10 goals Arsenal have conceded in the second half of games this season. Gentle1102 has noticed that I missed the glory part out. Yep, I did. I did it on purpose. But Tottenham on the ball now. Here is Eric Lamela, the goal scorer, the substitute. He replaced the injured Son, of course. So if any of you have Son in your fantasy team, you've been hit by a bit of an injury problem as he limps off with a hamstring injury. Jack and Isabel impressed with Arsenal's second half goals conceded record. Here is Tanguy and Ndombele. Can either side find a goal to put them ahead in this North London derby? The score is currently 1-1. And the second half has not long got underway. Let's have a look in the comments. Anyone else put anything? The Moyes derby, I've seen someone dub the game that follows this one between Manchester United and West Ham. A big game for European football. I never thought I'd say that. West Ham have looked good this season. So defensively strong. They've found a system under David Moyes that works for them. And they're strong at the back. And to get past Rice and Souček before that is a problem in itself. Lingard's been a good sign, and he can't play, of course, today. But Craig will be live for that one. Remember, as Bale tries to skip past Tierney, he feels as though he was fouled. I've not been too impressed with Gareth Bale in this opening 48 minutes of the North London derby. He's not had the greatest of returns to the Emirates after he's been in good form recently. But he's not been at his best so far today. But neither of Tottenham. I can recall very few touches for Harry Kane in this one. As Lloris goes forwards, but loses it to Tierney. He looks towards Lacazette, who I think would have been offside anyway. But the ball runs into the hands of the World Cup winner, Hugo Lloris, and the Spurs goalkeeper, Hugo Lloris. Few questions in the comments. Let's have a look. Jack and Isabel saying, do you think West Ham will finish 5th? Because I do. It's an interesting one. They're very, very tough to beat, West Ham, under David Moyes. And they've looked good all season. As I say, I fancied them against Manchester United today to pick up the 3 points. They've done some really good signings. I don't think the board has backed Moyes as much as they could have done. But signings like Souček last January, of course, and then in the summer, Soufal was an excellent signing for them. Lingard has worked perfectly for them. I like West Ham, but I'm hoping, Liverpool can break into the top 4 and Leicester or Chelsea finish 5th. I know it's unlikely, but here's to hoping. Here's Gareth Bale skipping forwards now. He slaloms the slide challenge from Partey and then puts a ball across. It's a dangerous one, but it's over everyone. And Emil Smith-Rowe cleans up for Arsenal. He's then fouled by the Spurs goal scorer, Eric Lamela, and wins a free kick for Arsenal deep inside their own half. Ewan Jackson saying, my guess of 4-2 looks unlikely. Yep, I can't see that coming off, mate. I said 1-1, so let's see if it stays like this now. Tom O'Malley says you deserve more views. Thank you very much. Well, subscribe, share, and let's see if we can get some more. If you share this on social media or whatever, who knows who'll join us. As I say, These watch-alongs are always better when we have more people involved. Matthew Dooley asking me if Wales are winning the Grand Slam. I assume that's rugby talk. I don't watch rugby. I watch it every now and again. My family, well, a couple of my family members are big on rugby. My brothers play rugby, but I'm not an avid watcher of it. I'll watch it if there's like a big game on, but much more of a fan of football, cricket, even golf, to be honest with you. Although I don't really like watching golf. I just like keeping up with it. Formula One is a decent sport too. I like American football. I've started getting into the NFL recently too. Let's have a look in the comment. Any more comments? Just as I think Spurs have a free kick here. Mourinho still seated here at the Emirates, not looking too happy. As my camera has panned to the Spurs chairman, Daniel Levy, Mourinho will be hoping that Levy backs him in the summer, as Mourinho looks to try and sort out that Spurs defence, which has been pretty shoddy all season. They need a few centre-backs, don't they, Spurs? And Tierney tries to thread a ball in behind that Spurs defence towards Pepe, who came on at half-time for Arsenal. Cedric wins the throw for Arsenal as Harry Kane challenges him. Yeah, Pepe has been introduced for Arsenal. I'll tell you as soon as I know who it was he replaced. I think by the looks of it, it was Bukayo Saka maybe, which is an interesting one because I think he was very good in that first half. But here is Gabriel at the back for Arsenal. Now it's David Luiz, who looks in behind towards Pepe. And yeah, it was Bukayo Saka that Pepe has replaced. I don't know if there's an injury there for Saka or whether it's purely tactical from Mikel Arteta, as Odegaard has been fouled by Cedric now on the right-hand side for Arsenal. And the ball comes out off Odegaard last. Really good defending there by the Tottenham, the Brazilian, Lucas Moura, who wins Spurs the throw as well. Let's have a look. Messi or Ronaldo, asks Ali. I think it is Messi, in my opinion. Anthony Davis saying, Jack, we could win the European Cup just to annoy the others. Fingers crossed, mate. It would be biblical to win number 7 in Istanbul, but I don't think it's possible with the current injuries we've got, without Henderson, without Van Dijk, with the current defence we've got. But you can't rule Liverpool out in Europe. If I've learnt one thing as a Liverpool fan over the years, we can't be ruled out in Europe. We have had some fantastic European nights, and hopefully we can win number 7 in Istanbul this season. I certainly think it's our best route into the Champions League next season. Here come Arsenal. Emile Smith-Rowe has looked good in this game, goes left to Tierney, who puts the ball across, but it's claimed by Hugo Lloris, who kicks the ball long. And here comes Tottenham. Harry Kane shrugs off Gabriel and tries to bring it under control, but there's David Luiz. And then Gabriel tries to clear away, but the ball's pumped high into the air. I'm surprised it's not come back down with snow on it. And here's David Luiz now for Arsenal. Granit Xhaka, who slows the game down again, and Thomas Partey on it now. Here comes David Luiz, and Arsenal will try and build play again. Let's have a look. Any more comments here? No more comments really. As Hugo Lloris knocks the ball out for an Arsenal throw. Here is Kieran Tierney now for the Gunners. He finds Granit Xhaka. Granit Xhaka to Emile Smith-Rowe. Emile Smith-Rowe to Odegaard. Smith-Rowe goes down looking for a free kick, but the finger shake from Michael Oliver. The referee clearly thinks Smith-Rowe went to ground a bit too easily there. Here's Granit Xhaka, though, who goes low to control it with his chest, and he finds Thomas Partey, who goes across to the right-hand side where Cedric is. Cedric turns on the ball and finds Thomas Partey again. Odegaard, Lacazette. Can Arsenal get a second? Lacazette's strike is saved by Lloris, but Lloris seemed to catch it at first, but after a few seconds, the ball was released. Clearly didn't find that save too comfortable, Hugo Lloris. And it's rolled short to Sergio Reguilon. Toby Alderweireld, who was the unfortunate player who the ball deflected off and into the back of the net for Arsenal's equaliser just before the break. And here is Davinson Sanchez. Matt Doherty on the right-hand side for Spurs. Bale with a nice little flick through his legs, and Kane looks to get there, but Gabriel with a lovely challenge for Arsenal. And Arsenal retain possession inside the Spurs half. Gabriel, Swady X, welcome to the chat, mate. Hope you're good. Tierney on this left-hand side for the Gunners. Now it is Gabriel. And Spurs now looking to make a sub. I can see Sissoko is readying himself, getting his shirt on. And by the looks of it, oh yeah, Gareth Bale will be making way. So I don't know if it's a change of system maybe for Spurs. Maybe they're going to a 4-3-3. They needed to change something. They haven't looked the best today. And Gareth Bale hasn't been at his best today. And he looks a bit confused that he's been brought off so early. Doesn't look happy with Mourinho's decision. But he has been replaced by Sissoko. And as I say, I do think it'll be a change of system for Spurs. Jensk1102, thank you again for the super chat, mate. He says, Jack, who put the ball in the Germans' net? Well, Eric Lamela, mate, with a Rabona. Put it in the back of the net, facing Bernd Leno. So there you go. It was him. Puskas Award contender. Let's have a look. Kate 2.0 saying it would be good if we can get to 16k by the end of the day. Yes, it would, and it's doable. Obviously, Craig follows me with a stream for West Ham versus Manchester United here. I know exactly what you meant, by the way, Jensk. I was just changing it into a question because why not? But here we go with Spurs again, who have changed shape now. They've released Tanguy and Ndombele, who is playing in a more advanced role, actually. So he is playing a bit more further forwards now for Spurs, actually, with what looks like Sissoko and Højbjerg in a double pivot for the away side. Ewan Jackson saying he had to score a Rabona because he has no right foot. To be fair, it was interesting how the ball fell to him. You know, it wasn't the best of passes, and it set him up for the Rabona, really. And I thought, surely you're not going to try that, but he did, and he pulled it off spectacularly. But here come Arsenal again on the left-hand side. Kieran Tierney, Xhaka, who looks in behind that Tottenham defence, but Doherty does well. And here is Sissoko. Sissoko to Doherty. Doherty finds Lamela, the goal scorer, who does well to get past Xhaka and find Ndombele there, but Ndombele's pass is poor and he's lost it. Arsenal with the ball now. Tierney. Some good one-touch football there from Arsenal, and Partey does well to put the ball through the legs of Højbjerg, and the Danish midfielder brings Partey down. Partey wants to see Højbjerg go into the book, but it's Partey who receives a telling off from Michael Oliver for asking for the Tottenham midfielder to receive a yellow card there. Here are Arsenal on the right-hand side there. They took that free kick rather fast. Here is Emile Smith-Rowe, who looks in behind towards Tierney. Tierney brings it under control and looks to get the cross in, but it is blocked by Matt Doherty, and Arsenal have another corner. And can Arsenal build something from this corner? They have been the better side throughout the game, but remember, it was Spurs that led through that wonderful Rabona from Eric Lamela. Then Arsenal equalised just before the break. An Odegaard effort deflecting in off all the way around. But Pepe will take the corner on the left-hand side, the Arsenal substitute. He goes short to Odegaard. Odegaard to Kieran Tierney. Tierney to Pepe. Pepe whips the ball in. It's blocked, and Lamela tries to bring it down. Lucas Moura now. Here is Reguilon. Lamela. Tottenham look to counter as Xhaka goes over to the right-hand side where David Luiz is. David Luiz flicks it over to Nicolas Pepe, the half-time substitute for the Gunners. He has David Luiz on his overlap. What's he doing this far forward? Sideshow Bob tried to create something, but the ball falls to Cedric on the right-hand side. He puts a cross in, headed away this time by Davinson Sanchez, but it falls to an Arsenal player yet again, and the goal scorer for Arsenal, Ødegaard. Pepe doing a few step-overs, dancing as we know he likes to do. Reguilon blocks. Arsenal still with the ball though. Cedric, Ødegaard, Partey. Feints and goes past Højbjerg and gets a shot underway. The second time he's tried that from distance, Partey. About 25 yards out this time, but he fires a long, long way wide. Dele Alli is going to be the third Spurs change of the day. They made their subs early, Tottenham and Jose Mourinho. And it will be Dele Alli who replaces Tanguy Ndombele for this last half an hour. Can Dele Alli be the difference maker for Spurs? And let's have a look in the comment. Casper Gaming reminding to drop a like and subscribe to this channel. Let's try and get 16k by the end of the day. Kian Martin asking who scored. Well, mate, if you've not seen Eric Lamella's Rabona, please go and check it out. It's a possible Puskas winner. It is a lovely attempt from him. And then for Arsenal, Ødegaard getting his first Premier League goal, courtesy of a big deflection from Alderweireld, but it was going on target. Oh, and Arsenal are in behind here. Lacazette. And what a recovery that is. Oh, he's given a penalty, Michael Oliver. And I'll have to see that back. I'll be interested to see what the punishment is here for Davinson Sanchez. But on first glance, I thought that was a lovely piece of defending from Sanchez. But let me see it back. Oh, no. The first angle has been completely wrong there. And what's happened is the ball's been put through. Lacazette has completely sliced at the ball. And he's already sliced at the ball when Davinson Sanchez comes flying in and brings him to the ground. And it will go to VAR, of course. Davinson Sanchez has been shown a yellow card for that challenge. But at first glance, I thought, due to the way Lacazette had sliced it, I thought it was Davinson Sanchez who had made a brilliant challenge. But as you can see from the replay, it is a clear foul. And VAR is checking the offside in the build-up, but there is no offside. Poor from Davinson Sanchez. And once again, Tottenham centre-backs with a comical error. He didn't need to do that so late on Lacazette. And the Frenchman, who looked to have completely wasted a good chance for Arsenal there, will have an opportunity from the spot. Lacazette versus Lloris. Frenchman versus Frenchman. World Cup winner Hugo Lloris will try and prevent this penalty from Alexander Lacazette, who will look to get Arsenal ahead for the first time in the game. He sends Lloris the wrong way. It's a lovely penalty from Alexander Lacazette. Arsenal are ahead for the first time in this game. Alexander Lacazette, the player who was fouled, who got away with one really after wasting that opportunity, after slicing the ball. But Lacazette finishes past his French compatriot, sending Hugo Lloris the wrong way. And Arsenal lead for the first time in this game. And you have to say it's deserved. And that penalty, as I say, I missed it at first glance. But when you see the replays back, it's a stonewall penalty. It's late from Davinson Sanchez. But it does make you laugh because Lacazette has got away with one there. Because his initial shot was sliced. It was poor. He wasted a real good opportunity. And Davinson Sanchez has just given him a free shot from 12 yards out. Davinson Sanchez got a yellow for that challenge as well, by the way. I can't remember if I let you know about that. But Arsenal now lead. And I have to say they deserve it. Tottenham's only shot on target was that Rabona attempt from Lamela, which I do think is a possible goal of the season. But yeah, absolutely deserve that goal for Arsenal, who now lead by 2-1 in this North London derby at the Emirates. As I say, Spurs won the game earlier on in the season, and they haven't done a league double over Arsenal since the 1992-1993 season. And the camera pans to the Arsenal skipper, Aubameyang, left out for disciplinary issues today. They've not needed him. They've looked good today, Arsenal. But they were gifted with a penalty there after a moment of madness from Davinson Sanchez. And that's nice from Dele Alli on the right-hand side, but Doherty loses it, and Arsenal have the ball again. Here's David Luiz, who pumps it forwards. But Davinson Sanchez has it for Spurs. Let's have a look. Kate 2.0 thinks Arsenal have another goal in them. Well, my prediction was 1-0, so I've got it wrong. Davinson Sanchez now for Spurs. Let's have a look. Anyone else? Yep, a few people just pointed out that Lacazette scored from the spot. Yes, he did. Kate 2.0 asking what goal I thought was worthy of a Puskas award. Well, maybe not the awards, but I think the Lamela strike, the Rabona, would definitely be a contender. The audacity, as I say, and the way he's hit that with so much control has been outstanding. But just so I can show you the dominance that Arsenal have had on this game, they have had 13 shots in this one. Tottenham have had 1. Eric Lamela's goal is the only Spurs shot in the first 65 minutes of this North London derby. And Harry Kane, the top goal scorer in this fixture, has hardly had a single sniff today. Arsenal have defended well. Tottenham have hardly seen the ball. Tottenham have been quite poor. They've looked flat. They look tired still from midweek, when, of course, they won in the Europa League. But Arsenal did too. They can't use that as an excuse. And there's not long left now. Just over 20 minutes, which is enough time for Spurs to find something and get something from this. But they're going to really need to turn it around and perform a bit better than they have done in this opening 67 minutes of the match. And this free kick looked to me like David Luiz range, but he stepped away from it and left it for Granit Xhaka. There's 2 men in the Spurs wall, but Harry Kane leaves Sissoko on his own now to stand there tall. I think they were worried about David Luiz hitting it, and Xhaka looks for David Luiz at the back post. It's won by a Spurs man, and Lucas Moura does really well to get that under control for Spurs, but Xhaka challenges him well. The ball is switched by Sergio Reguilon to Matt Doherty. Doherty to Lamela. Emile Smith-Rowe wins it back for Arsenal on the halfway line, though. And Spurs, every time they've tried to keep the ball today, haven't had it for long. And I think Lamela is going to be the next one to enter Michael Oliver's book for that late challenge on the halfway line. Yes, he is. Most likely for persistent. He's done a couple of them late challenges, Lamela. To be fair, I think he got the ball, but he goes through the man in order to get it. Oh, yeah, he does get a bit of the ball, but I think the follow-through is what Michael Oliver isn't happy about. Let's have a look. Any more questions in here? Samuel Lowe saying Lamela is feisty. Yeah, he's had a real influence on this game, hasn't he? Scored a Rabona, and now he's entered the referee's book. And he's had the only shot that Spurs have had in this opening 70 minutes of the North London derby. From a Spurs perspective, it's not been good enough at all from them today. And they currently find themselves behind at the Emirates, across the road from themselves, of course. The North London rivals are leading them here. And here is Lucas Moura, who looks over to the left where Sergio Reguilon is. Reguilon feints across, puts it on his right foot, finds Højbjerg. Can the Dane get Spurs' second shot in the way of the game? Doherty, Kane whips one in towards Dele Alli. You can't get anything on it. Reguilon looks to put it back in. It's a poor attempt of a cross from him, and Cedric blocks and clears. But it falls to Alderweireld now as Arsenal look to try and hold on. Tottenham have been inconsistent all season, says Kate 2.0. Elevator Kid thinks Arsenal will win 3-2. Samuel Lowe pointing out, has Kane even been playing? He's very much ghosted through the opening 70 minutes here, but you only need to give Kane one chance. As we saw from Spurs, they only need one chance. They scored with their only shot of the game so far. Here's Lamela now. Spurs' goal scorer. The man who replaced Son, who limped off with a hamstring injury. And here is Højbjerg, who whips one in, and it finds the header of Lamela. And there is The first save of the game that Bernd Leno has had to make, as it's headed straight at him. And Spurs get their second shot of the game on the 70th minute. And Arsenal looking behind towards Pepe, who beats Reguilon for pace and looks to cut inside, pulling it on his left foot. Here's Lacazette, whose penalty is the difference between the two sides at the minute. Xhaka looks to thread a pass through. It's blocked by Sanchez, but Arsenal still have the ball. Tierney whips one in from the left. Away by Alderweireld, excuse me. And Sissoko has the ball for Spurs now. He finds Lamela, who goes to ground. I thought Lamela went to ground a bit easily there, but Michael Oliver has given Spurs the free kick. Casper Gaming has sent a super chat in. Thank you very much, Casper. I appreciate that, mate. Really appreciate that. And Spurs have a free kick. 19 minutes left in this North London derby. Can Spurs get anything from this game? Can Arsenal, who have been the better side, can they hold on? We know they're not the greatest defensively. They've looked good today, though, Arsenal. I can't tell if they've been good, though, or if Spurs have just been poor. Mikel Arteta moving outside the technical area. He's not happy with that challenge from Sissoko. And Granit Xhaka has won the free kick. I wouldn't be surprised if the referee gives Mikel Arteta a bit of a talking to there, though. And Cedric goes to Ødegaard, who is roaming forwards for Arsenal now. Pepe back, and Moura wins it back for Spurs, but he can't keep it for Spurs for long. Let's have a look in the comments again. Danielle Housey, has ruled out Spurs winning this game now. It's interesting. I don't think they've been good enough to win this game. I think Arsenal will feel extremely hard done by if Spurs do go end up and winning this game. But it does look very unlikely. Arsenal lead 2-1, and I expect it to stay like this now. They look the more dangerous side at the moment as well, Arsenal. Spurs haven't quite been at the races today, but what a lovely strike that was for them in the first half to go ahead. Eric Lamela. Take it, Akpom asking why I commentate like an actual commentator. It's just how I like to do it, mate. If you have any suggestions or anything that you want to see me do differently, then just let me know. But all watch-alongs have to be different. You know, if you want to go and watch along with loads of screaming and shouting, I'm sure you'll go to AFTV. If you want to watch someone from a Tottenham perspective, I'm sure you'll go to, the likes of Expressions or some of the Tottenham fan channels. But I try and remain neutral. I try and just tell you what's going on in the game. I try and talk to you in the comments. But if you think I can do anything differently, if you want me to be animated or anything, let me know. Because I'm always willing to learn. Randy Candy says, hey, Jack. Hey, mate. Thank you for joining us for this one, for the late stages of this North London derby between Arsenal and Tottenham Hotspur. Lacazette to Ødegaard. I've been spammed by Ali, who says, who is the better actor, Will Smith or Mel Gibson? It's an interesting one. People may hate me for this, but I'm not a big fan of Will Smith. Every time I watch Will Smith films, Will Smith plays Will Smith. That's what he does. So I think that answers your question. I'm really not the biggest fan. Oh, and that is a nasty challenge from Harry Kane, who leans with his elbow. Oh, and he's got away with that one. It's not the greatest of challenges, but it's easy to see why he's frustrated. Oh, and Eric Lamela will go here. It's a second yellow card for a frailing arm. And Eric Lamela is sent off. And Jose Mourinho with a tongue-in-cheek moment. It's right in front of the benches. It's clearly accidental from Lamela, but he has struck the Arsenal player with a frailing arm. And Lamela, the substitute in this one, the goal scorer for Spurs, who scored a lovely Rabona in the first half. But that's more like the Eric Lamela we know, isn't it? A moment of magic in the first half, a moment of madness in the second. And Eric Lamela sent off for a second bookable offence. He can't believe it. Spurs players starting to seem frustrated here. Harry Kane before went in strong with a body check and his shoulder in the face of an Arsenal player. But there, Lamela getting his second yellow card for a frailing arm. It reminds me of almost what Lazar Markovic did, what he was sent off for in the Europa League for Liverpool a few years ago. But he's tried to hold Tierney off with his arm that ended up catching him in his face. And Michael Oliver has seen that as a yellow card offence. And Lamela, the scorer of a possible goal of the season contender with a moment of brilliance in the first 45 minutes, has seen red here in the North London derby. Spurs reduced to 10 men and they're down by 2-1. And I think that is more like the Lamela that we've seen at Spurs, to be honest with you. And Arsenal now preparing a sub. It's the youngster, Emil Smith-Rowe, who has looked bright today for the Gunners, who is coming off. And coming on is the Brazilian, Willian. I'm a poet and I didn't know it. But Willian enters the fray now. He's got 4 assists in his last 4 games, Willian, after what was a pretty poor start to his Arsenal career. But yeah, Lamela sent off there, and Spurs have a lot to do now in this last 13 minutes. Kane hasn't been sent off, Kate 2.0. No, the red card has gone to Eric Lamela. Elevator Kid says Spurs are now in real trouble. Do you think they're out of the top 4 race with this loss? I think they've been poor today. And you've seen the frustration in their players there. Lamela with 2 yellow cards in under 10 minutes. Harry Kane put in a poor challenge just moments before. But Lamela, the goal scorer in the first half, has seen red here, and Tottenham have a lot to do now. The ball played by Sissoko towards Doherty, who does really well to dance past Tierney. And then Xhaka comes in with a very strong challenge, but it's a fair challenge, and it's out for a corner. It's one of them tackles that you love to see that from Granit Xhaka. He so often gets his challenges wrong, and he's so often the man in the book in games like this, Granit Xhaka, but he gets that tackle perfectly. Spot on, and it's a Tottenham corner. Lucas Moura from the right-hand side for 10-man Spurs. He's found the header of Kane, who header loops into the hands of the German goalkeeper, Bernd Leno. Will says Lamela is his own worst enemy. Clearly got the talent, but just makes stupid decisions. Yep. We've seen that in the first half, haven't we? A moment of magic from him. And then, as I say, that was just a moment of madness, just stupidity from him. There's no need to do that. And he was clearly annoyed at seeing red then. But you can't do that. And it does look soft, but he's caught Tierney with his arm. And he has to go. And he has gone. And Tottenham have a lot to do with 10 men now as Lucas Moura flicks the ball in behind to Harry Kane, who hasn't had too many touches today, but that one wasn't the best either, and his cross is even worse. And Granit Xhaka defends that well, and Pepe gets it away. But yeah, Tottenham haven't looked great today. They lost Son through injury early on. Kane and Bale were both poor, in my opinion. Bale we saw replaced before the hour mark by Sissoko. But yeah, Tottenham haven't been at their greatest today at all, and they need something here in the final 10 minutes if they're going to take anything from this game. Jensk 1102 says Lamela should have been sent off against United. You're not a United fan by any chance, are you, mate? Lamela scored a great goal, but still Tottenham need to show more intensity. They do. They've been so flat today. They've been so poor. They've not created much at all. It's not been a good performance from Tottenham Hotspur. As Thomas Partey concedes a corner, though. That sloppy play from Arsenal. We see that often from Arsenal. They've not done it yet today, but there you go. Arsenal are back after a good performance There's always an Arsenal moment in them. David Luiz furious at Partey for that miscontrolled pass that has gone out for a Tottenham corner. He's keen to keep Arsenal going. Arsenal, what a win this would be for them. The ball in from Lucas Moura. It's a dangerous ball in towards Harry Kane, but the England captain and Tottenham striker can't get anything on that. And Arsenal regain possession of the ball. It's pumped forwards. But then the header by Alderweireld falls to the feet of Granit Xhaka, and that pass from Odegaard finds Pepe on the right-hand side. Can Pepe beat Reguilon? A couple of step-overs from Pepe. He loves them, doesn't he? And here is Odegaard. Odegaard to Pepe. Partey. Hope you're all enjoying this stream. Remember to like this, share it on social media if you can, subscribe to Mundo Sporto, and remember, if you want more after this, Craig will be live for Manchester United versus West Ham, live on Mundo Sporto. Just after this, as Lucas Moura finds Matt Doherty on the right-hand side. Got quite a few United fans in the comments. I wonder if they're waiting for the game against West Ham afterwards. What do you think about that game? United have a lot of injuries. West Ham flying high. I've just seen Granit Xhaka has gone into the referee's book. He's got his yellow card for a foul on Lucas Moura, and Spurs have an opportunity here with a free kick. And that is just Granit Xhaka's 6th booking of the season. You'd be shocked to hear. I feel like he gets booked every time he plays football, Granit Xhaka, but clearly not. Christoph, a United fan, is excited for the game against West Ham. Kean Martin thinks it'll be 5-0 to injury hit United. Christoph thinks it'll be 2-2. A question here about Kane leaving Spurs. I'll answer that in a moment as Lucas Moura puts a lovely free kick in. And there is Harry Kane. And there is 2-2. But the flag is up for offside. It looked like Spurs had found an equaliser there. But 10 men Spurs denied by the flag. Let's have a look at this again. So Moura whips the ball in. And yeah, Kane is just offside. That's a really good line from Arsenal. So it remains at 2-1 to the Gunners. And I'm impressed with that line from Arsenal. I'm impressed with that defending. They've looked good today, Arsenal. They've got a few players back from injury, and I've been impressed. And Kane there, who has been left frustrated today with a lack of action for him, finds himself just offside. So still 2-1 here. 10 men Tottenham couldn't quite find their equaliser. But yeah, just to answer your question, Kate, as I say, I think Kane is a born winner. He's a world-class player and he deserves to be at a club that are winning trophies. And, you know, he was mates with Pochettino. I think he was a bit sad at first to see Pochettino leave. But when Mourinho came in, I thought he saw that as his opportunity to win trophies. Mourinho is a born winner, a serial winner, and he loves trophies, doesn't he? But as yet, Mourinho hasn't had that effect on Spurs. And I think if Kane isn't winning trophies at Tottenham, and if Tottenham aren't challenging for the title by the end of the season, Kane will leave Spurs. I think it's difficult, though, by the end of next season, I think Kane will leave Spurs. I think it's difficult, though, because how much do you value Kane at? Because, you know, will he be priced out of a move to a Premier League club? Here's Odegaard. Can he get a shot underway? We know what it's like with English tax on English players. English clubs seem to pay a lot more for English players. Just look at the price of Harry Maguire. So how much would you rate Harry Kane at? But yeah, I don't think it'll be long before he grows frustrated at Tottenham and the lack of trophies there. You know, he's in the peak years of his career now. He won't be satisfied to be trophyless as he gets into his late 20s. Ali thinks that Kane will never leave Spurs. Mark Caldwell says Kane to PSG. I think interesting. And then Mike Rees saying this could help Liverpool after this game. It could, but I think Liverpool can't afford a single slip-up. I think we're going to have to go between now and the end of the season unbeaten. And we're going to have to rely on many teams above us slipping up as well. There's a big win, of course, for Leicester earlier. I think they're the most likely side to drop out the top 4. But at the minute, they keep picking up wins. 5 minutes left in this North London derby. Can Arteta's Arsenal hold on. It's been a good performance from them today. It's been a dominant one. And Tottenham led through a Rabona from Eric Lamela, who has been later sent off for 2 bookable offences, from a moment of magic from the Argentinian to a moment of madness. And Lucas Moura now looks to try and level for Spurs. And that's a lovely clip ball in behind towards Harry Kane, but it's headed away by David Luiz, who has done all right today. TTV Klopp rates Kane at 140 million. In this market, though, during COVID, are people going to splash 140 million pounds? It's interesting, isn't it? And it makes you wonder, will Kane have to move outside the Premier League if he wants to leave Spurs? He's a world-class player there, and I don't think he'll settle for not winning trophies. I really don't. Elevator Kid thinks Manchester United will beat West Ham by a penalty. Lucas Moura whips the ball in. It's an in-swinger, and Leno punches clear. Reguilon's 50-pence header finds the ball going to Alderweireld, who heads it back in towards a melee of players in the area, but it runs into the hands of Bernd Leno, who takes his time before throwing it out to Granit Xhaka. Willian on the left for Arsenal now. Tierney, he's lost it, and Spurs win the throw. It comes back out off Willian last. Arteta very animated in his technical area. Yeah, quite a few people thinking Manchester United will get a penalty. It's not hard to guess that, to be honest with you. They seem to get them an awful lot, don't they? But I honestly fancy West Ham in that one. Manchester United heavily hit by injuries. And Arsenal ready to make a change now, and it won't be Aubameyang. So he was left out this starting 11 for disciplinary issues, and he won't even make the pitch in today's North London derby. And Arsenal haven't needed him. It's been a good performance from them. They've not needed their skipper. But Lacazette is replaced by Mohamed Elneny as Arsenal try to hold on here against their North London rivals and the 10 men of Spurs. Christoph feels bad for Lamela. It was just a moment of stupidity, wasn't it? You know, the first challenge, I think, was a harsh one to see a yellow card for it. But the follow-through, clearly, Michael Oliver wasn't happy with. He did get a bit of the ball, though. The second one is just a frailing arm, isn't it? And he just caught him. He's not meant it. It's not got any malice in it, but I think I can see why he has been shown the red card and sent off. But it was a fantastic day for him. That's how it started when he came off the bench and scored that Rabona. But it ended in him seeing red and being sent off here with his side 2-1 down. But Spurs have a free kick here, and Harry Kane is lining up to take it on the left-hand side, the leading goal scorer in this fixture, as Arsenal line up with a 3-man wall with a player lay on the floor behind him, and Spurs forming their own wall besides the Arsenal one with Davinson Sanchez and Dele Alli in it. We see that a lot now, don't you? With a player lying on the floor behind the wall to prevent it going from low. But there is the post from Harry Kane. He went low and it went between the wall jumping and the player on the floor. And it's thundered back off the post. And I think it's fallen to Davinson Sanchez. And it's a goal line block in the end from Gabriel. But no, it goes round the wall. And Leno had just stepped the other way. And it thunders back off the post. And then Gabriel is there to head the follow-up away. But that's a lovely free kick from Harry Kane from just outside the area. Over on the left-hand side, he curls it round the wall. The step the other way from Leno, it completely beats him. Thunders back off the post, and then it's great defending from Gabriel, the summer signing for Arsenal in the end, to ensure that Spurs, the 10 men of Spurs, don't find the equaliser. And I don't know quite how they didn't manage to score there. Christoph reminding you that the lineups for Man United and West Ham are out. Check them out on our sponsor, OneFootball. And that's the third time in this game that the woodwork has been struck. Twice Arsenal struck it in the first half. And there Harry Kane strikes it. There'll be 5 minutes of added time. Can Arsenal hold on and get what would be a vital win for them and give a real shot to the top four hopes of Spurs, who haven't been at the races for the majority of today's game. We saw a moment of magic from Eric Lamela, followed by a moment of madness as he sent off. And Doherty there, just summing up Spurs' day with a wasteful pass towards Alderweireld, but Alderweireld, the Belgian, recovers the ball well and goes back to Hugo Lloris, who fires forwards on this right-hand side towards Lucas Moura. The ball forwards from Højbjerg. It's a poor one and he's lost it to Granit Xhaka, Partey, Elneny. Can Arsenal see this game out? Let's have a look into the comments now. Hasn't been the greatest of games here, but we've seen a few good moments. Arsenal have had a couple of good opportunities. The goals haven't been the nicest of goals. A penalty from Lacazette was the second. A deflected strike from Odegaard was their first. But what we did see today was a worldie from Eric Lamela on the red bonnet. Let's have a look in the comments, see what you lot have thought of this game. A few people talking about the United game, a few people talking about career mode. But Arsenal trying to see this game out, and Tierney attacks on the left-hand side, but I think the ball may have ran ahead of him and out of play there. But let's see the Spurs free kick again. Kane goes round that wall. It comes back off the post and it falls perfectly for Davinson Sanchez, who looks to finish it while sliding. But Gabriel is there and defends well for Arsenal. And 10 men Tottenham still find themselves behind. Here's Lucas Moura to Alderweireld. Keep your comments coming in as this game enters its final stages. Remember to join Craig after this one live on Mundo Sporto for Arsenal. Sorry, for Manchester United versus West Ham. West Ham under David Moyes go to Old Trafford. Moyes returns to Old Trafford in what is a massive game for European football. A big, big game for West Ham if they're serious about their hopes for the top four. But Mikel Arteta remains animated on the touchline for Arsenal. The ball sent long by Leno towards Alderweireld, who wins it back for Spurs. Lloris over to Doherty on the right-hand side. Is there time for one last Tottenham chance? There's 2 minutes left of added on time here. There was 5 additional minutes, of course. Tyler says, I've done a good job today. Thank you very much, Tyler. I really appreciate that. But Arsenal are leading this North London derby at the Emirates by 2-1. I said during this stream, Tottenham haven't done a league double over Arsenal since the 1992-1993 season. They won at their stadium earlier on in the season, but they're going to lose here at the Emirates today. It hasn't been good enough from Tottenham. They went down to 10 men when Lamela was shown a second yellow. But here, with a minute left of stoppage time, they've got a free kick again. We saw Harry Kane cause problems from the last free kick. This one is from the centre of the goal, 25 yards out. And it's a big opportunity for Spurs. The 10 men of Spurs and Harry Kane. As I say, that one before from the left-hand side looked like a really good opportunity for them. Thundered back off the post. Can Kane get this one on target and create problems for Bernd Leno? It'll be a 5-man wall for Arsenal this time, with Cedric once again lay behind it. It's very weird, these new walls that we can see. But this will probably be the last chance of the game for Spurs. Can they salvage a point from the North London derby? Harry Kane stands over the free kick. Their magic man, Harry Kane, does strike it. I think it comes off the wall and goes behind for a corner. The chance isn't over. Or is it? Has that gone straight over? Or was it a block? I can't quite tell. I think I can see the players going back for a goal kick though. So I think that went straight over from Harry Kane, which if it did, it wasn't a good free kick from the Englishman at all. But yes, it is a goal kick. So it didn't take a deflection. And if it did, it must have been off a Tottenham player. I assume that was just a poor free kick from Harry Kane, who hasn't been at the races for Spurs today. Comment here from Katie saying, I think top 4 races still on after the results this weekend. Interesting. It's a topsy-turvy season. Anything can happen. I wouldn't rule this out, but I would say it's unlikely. And there is the whistle. Arteta punches the air. He's not to lose 3 North London derbies in a row. It's finally a win for him in the North London derby. Mourinho left with a red face at the end, but he takes defeat. He goes and gives Arteta a hug. His side didn't quite turn up today. They went ahead through a moment of magic from Eric Lamela, a Rabona, a contender for the goal of the season, a contender for a Puskas award, with a controlled Rabona finish from Lamela. If you've not seen it yet, I recommend checking it out. And then Arsenal equalised just before the break. Ødegaard's attempt after the ball was put across goal from the left-hand side was deflected in off Alderweireld. And then in the second half, Lacazette was brought down by Davinson Sanchez, and then the Frenchman converted from the spot. And then after that, Eric Lamela, who scored for Tottenham, of course, was sent off for a second yellow card. And Tottenham lose at the Emirates. Mourinho loses to Arteta. And an Aubameyang-less Arsenal. Aubameyang, remember, left out of this one due to disciplinary issues. That's all we know thus far. He wasn't needed for Arsenal today. And Arsenal have beaten Tottenham at the Emirates. And before I go, here's a reminder that Craig will be back on Mundo Sporto this evening for Manchester United versus West Ham. That should be a really good game between 3rd and 5th. But also before I go, here's a reminder of our sponsors for today's video.
This video is sponsored by OneFootball. OneFootball is the only football app you need to follow thousands of teams, hundreds of leagues and competitions worldwide. It is packed with all the latest news, videos, fixtures, scores, stats, and key dates. And it personalizes the content that you want. It allows you to put your favorite team in, your favorite leagues, the fixtures you want to follow. It is an incredible app that I use, all my friends use, my family use it, everyone I know uses OneFootball. And if you're not using it yet, you need to go and download it.
So there we have it. Make sure you check out OneFootball. Make sure you're back later for Craig's watch along. I hope you enjoyed this stream of the North London derby. No changes in regards to the table. Arsenal remain 10th and Spurs remain 7th. But good to know as a Liverpool fan that we can go above Spurs with a win. And Everton, actually, with a win on Monday night against Wolves. So fingers crossed that we see Liverpool win at the Molineux tomorrow. Thank you for joining me again, and I shall see you very, very soon. Ta-ra.